Hello, hello, and welcome to F1 25. Today we are doing the start of our career mode here on F1 25. I know it is a little bit late in the game cycle, but better late than never, as they say. So I thought for preparations leading up to the release of the F1 26 DLC, I thought we could do a quick career mode here on the F1 25 game. And as you can see, we'll be driving for Haas. We're going to be partnering up with Oliver Bearman, and hopefully we will be able to bring a little bit of glory to this American team. So let's head into it and let's see what this is all about. Let's see. Oh, here we are in Monaco. This is a big boat, I have to say. So let's see what this is all about.
Finally, let's do this for real. Sorry it took so long. You know what these legal types are like? Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's 80 pages of needless jargon, sir. Anyway, believe it or not, this is my excited face. Come on, come on. Let me show you what we've got. So,
All right.
all the usual stuff, merchandising, likeness, blah, blah, blah. But the really juicy stuff is their expectation of you. They need you to challenge yourself all season, be the best you can be, dominate your teammate, become a legend. All that jazz. Now, it's over to you.
So I imagine this is going to be the setup of our contract. Looks like it. So this is... Let's see, what should we do? We can only sign a 1-year deal, which makes perfect sense. The game recommends for the overall target rating to set it at 69. I want to be a little bit ambitious. I'm going to set it to 70. Overall, we are currently at 65. Very close to a 66 overall, so it should be possible. But let's try and sign this. There we go. And that means we get into the real stuff now. Here we go. We're ready to get going. And that is what I presume is going to be our villa. It looks very similar to last year's game as well. And yeah, this is looks very familiar. Used to seeing all of this. Alright, just need to find my... Oh, that was the wrong button. It was this one I was heading for. There we can see our little rivalry with Ollie. And loads of personnel welcoming us. Mark, I think he's our engineer, if I remember correctly. So he's just sent us a welcome message. The same for our team principal, Ayo Kamatsu. So that's very nice of them. And we can see here, there's loads of things in prep for the new season. Before we go to the grid reveal on the 5th of March in-game. Just before we do that though, let's have a quick gander at the R&D. Right here, so what does it recommend? It recommends reliability, and we have 493 resource points, and this is the gearbox. I mean, sure, why not? And if we do the standard development time, it should come just before the Japanese Grand Prix. I think that's okay. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit for some of the more substantial upgrades. But let's go to the grid reveal and see. I mean, we do know what the grid is going to look like. It is pretty much the same grid as the 2025 season started off with the exception, of course, being ourselves, partnering Bearman. So that is the only difference. There we go. We have all of the cars being wheeled out. The Ferrari boys, the Aston and Alpine crew, the Red Bull. There we are in the Haas suit. Looks very nice. And now the drivers are lining up in front of their respective cars. The McLaren boys, the Ferrari boys, the Astons, the Red Bulls. There we are, the Haas boys, the Saubers, the Alpine, the Williams pairing, and the V-Carb. And lastly, we have the Mercedes boys. Alright. And we are obviously towards the back end of the grid. Or at least that is what I'm expecting with Haas. I'm not expecting big things, let's say it that way. Let's grab some more resource points here. We get... what was that? Was a little bit there. And here we go. A message from Komatsu again. You'll have to show some patience for the first part of the season, as we expect our initial pace to be towards the back of the grid, as I said. But don't worry, everyone is working hard and we have a great investment in the team. As long as you do your bit, we should be able to move towards the middle of the pack over the course of the year. So he's expecting us to be towards the back end of the grid. Let's see, we have some targets here. And to go in line with what our team principal said, let's go with a very simple target of just completing the race weekend. And speaking of, we're doing the full season, the full 24 races, and that obviously means we are starting in Australia, a track that has been the season opener for quite some time. Let's quickly check the tire allocations. I mean, that looks alright, I think. So let's go to the race weekend and get our first session as an official Haas driver underway here on F125. And let's see. There we are in the team's headquarters. All of the engineers and personnel working away, and there we are together with Ollie. And we have our own desktop here at the facility. So this is our workstation, and pretty much also where we are going to start each new episode following this one. So that's going to be interesting. And the race weekend has been predicted to not be dry all the way through, so especially the race, it looks like it's going to be starting off wet and then going towards the dry. So that is interesting. That is very interesting. And all 3 practice sessions as well are going to be dry, so that's not going to do us a huge amount of favor. But anyway, let's just get on with it.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to a brand new season in Formula One. It's 2025. We've got a 4-time world champion joining the grid. Do we have 4 teams in the championship? There's certainly been convergence over the winter months and plenty to look forward to before the huge regulation change in 2026.
And
now
look at that
it's all
helmet.
about free practice. Let's get straight into it in FP1.
That looks very nice and matches the color scheme of our nationality. So that's basically why I picked it. Don't look too close at the back there. It is technically Esteban Ocon's Japanese Grand Prix helmet, but at a distance you could be mistaking it for someone else's helmet.
Okay, mate, this is the first running of the real car. Now, I know it's a big ask, but let's get some useful data and get you used to how the practice sessions work. Let's start the season as we mean to go on, eh? I know we can have a great year, so let's go.
Alrighty. So a quick tutorial. We know how it works. We have been doing Formula One things for quite some time. I'm just going to quickly throw on a setup here. And I was actually meant to quickly do select customize, because I needed to check something here. Alright. Yeah. So 30, 55. Let's load this one. We're gonna dial it a little bit more towards the center here. That should be decent. With that being said, let's go out on track and get our first couple of laps in.
Okay, me again, mate. We've made some changes to the way that ERS works this year, so you're going to have multiple modes to choose from in the race now. Have a play around with them in your MFD during the practice sessions and think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you very much. And we are just going to be venturing out here, seeing how the car feels. Whoa, big snap there. And that is our first little bit of maybe over-eagerness to get underway in a good way. But the car feels decent with the setup. It is doing what I'm expecting of it. So no real surprises, to be honest, so far. But maybe that will come later on. DRS seems to be working as expected as well. So no problems there. Now we just have to get used to the track. And obviously I do know the track, but it's been quite a while since I drove around here. Because obviously didn't take part in this season's SRL Championship, in the Formula 1 season at least. Did take part in the GT3 on Assetto Corsa. But so it's been quite a while since I've gone around Albert Park, but it's one of those tracks that you never really forget. So let's see. But heading into turn 1.
Okay, DRS zone coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD.
Oh, and it didn't register the DRS press. That's unfortunate. A little bit of a touch with the wall there. A big snap again with the exit of turn 4. So the car is a little bit lively. I don't mind, if I'm being honest, but it's obviously something I have to get used to. So far, so good. And this is obviously just to grab some resource points. That's the reason why we're doing this. Oh, big tussle over the curbs there. Oh, a little bit lag on the brakes there. A little bit of a snap there as well. But overall the car feels alright. And that is that practice program completed. That should be everything necessary. Let's try and go again, just get a couple of laps under our belt. Oh. A little bit wide there, but no biggie. We're catching up to someone in front of us. Do not know who that is. That is one of the Aston Martins. Question is just who that might be. Whether it's Alonso or Stroll. A little bit wide there. And that is Alonso we are catching up to. A little bit slow through those couple of corners, but it's alright. There we go. Let's head into the pits at the end of this one. Oh, whoops. Oh, Alonso is slowing down. I brought up the wrong MFD menu. Accidentally. Right now we're just circulating to do some laps. I think we are holding up Alonso a little bit here, so I'm going to let him past. Here on this next straight. There we go.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
We're boxing at the end of this one. I'm not quite sure if I have configured my radio though. I need to check that. And Alonso, he's going to slow down for us here. And into the pit, we're just going to recharge. No problems there. And here we go, into the pits. Practice program completed nicely. We're a little bit fast into the pits there, but no problem, no problem. Whew. But that is the first couple of laps completed. Let's see how we did, because I genuinely don't know. I saw we were faster than Alonso, but apart from that, I'm not sure. Not really though. So let's see. Let's see. In terms of times, I mean, Alonso and myself are the only ones who've posted a lap time so far, and we really haven't gone that aggressive for it. I can see he's on softs, so that's not really anything to go by. And we did complete a little bit here, but let's go out again. Let's go out on a set of mediums this time.
Standing by.
And this time it's just a race trim. And for future episodes, just so we're all clear, I'm going to make sure all this practice stuff is completed before we begin the streams, so there's not going to be much of this in the episodes that follows. But back out on track on a set of mediums, and this is obviously race trim, so we're gonna have to see what we can do. With these. And Behrman has also posted a lap time. Obviously practice not really anything to go by, but he is slower than Fernando at the moment. But so far so good for ourselves. We're still figuring out quite a few things here. So let's see what we can do. And obviously race trim is a little bit different in that you just have to hit a target time set by the team that they think will be the times we are going to be doing during the race. But let's see. Let's use a little bit of ERS here at the beginning then. Into turn one, a little bit sideways. It's not too big of a problem. And we are already half a second up on the target time. A little bit deep into turn three. Big snap there. Not too good. But so far so good. And more people posting lap times now, which is good for an indication of where we should slot in. Obviously, as I said, people not going to be posting the fastest of laps, but it's still a good indication of where we lie. So it is useful for something, at least. Oh, big cloud over the curb there. Ooh, and don't touch that curb, because that is a death sentence. And heading on to the start-finish straight, we're just about a second up, so it's pretty decent, not too bad. Whoa, big slide there. We managed to catch it, thankfully, so no harm done. Car is still lively. Car is very much still lively. I do see you on the live chat. I'm just not able to read it while driving. I will get onto it as soon as we go back into the garage. But yeah, even with that little bit of a snap there, we're still just about a second up, so that's pretty decent. Oh, we still hit that curb, so we haven't optimized a lap just yet. We can go more aggressively on the throttle there. But yeah, 0.6 better, still decent. Sliding again through turn 1. Car is a lot more lively than what probably is good. Whoa, big slide there as well. Oosh, and we touched the wall there. Managed to keep the car from picking up any damage, I think. But yeah, the car is very, very lively. Actually a little bit difficult to drive. I don't know, maybe we need to do something about the differential settings and stuff like that, because that could technically be it, but we'll figure that out. Car is sliding quite severely over the front axle as well, so it doesn't really feel good to drive. And that was a much better exit. We're still quite far up on the target time, so that's at least something. We prevent the slide. Oh, I say that, but we grind up against the wall. So far, still doing pretty decently. Car is a bit of a handful, but that is to be expected with a midfield car. It's not going to be the best to drive, but that's also part of the challenge. So we take to it as we go. This is a much better lap. It feels so much better. Yeah, we do need to make some small setup changes before we head into qualifying. But they are not that severe. Oi, big slide. Again. A big slide, but we save it. Once again. the tires look like? Yeah, the tires are also pretty beat up at the moment. So it does explain why we have quite a bit of slippage, especially on the left side of the car. The tires are quite used. We're catching up to someone. We absolutely bang that wall there. And this is one of the Red Bull drivers we're catching up to. Hopefully we don't get in their way. It is Yuki Tsunoda we're catching. So the Japanese driver. He's going to have to see what he can do up against the competition, both the other teams, but also his teammate Max Verstappen. But we complete our program.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
Thank you very much, Mark. And while we are on it, let's quickly try and increase this diff. Let's see what happens. And thank you for the encouragement on the live chat. Go get that W. I can guarantee that if we are getting a victory here today, that would be quite surprising, taking into consideration that Haas, the team we're driving for, they are still yet to finish on the podium. They are very much a midfield team, but who knows, maybe with a lot of good development and a little bit of luck over the course of the season, oh my goodness, we can grab a couple of podiums and maybe even some victories later on. But yeah, that was a big slide there. But we are heading back into the pits at the end of this one. Oh, a little bit too much speed there, almost carried into the pits. There we go. We're almost out of fuel, but we're still sitting top of the timetables here in Australia. So we're still doing pretty decently, but I do have to say we are also pushing a little bit at least. So there's that. But yeah, there we go. You can see. Oh. So our lap times, which you can see here, they are where they should be. They are quite far down on the target lap time, so that is quite nice. The tire wear, on the other hand, is absolutely horrendous. We are... How much worse are we? We're 7% worse on the 5th lap than what the team was expecting. So, yeah, that's really, really bad, actually. That is really, really bad. And I'm just going to quickly load this setup again. Yeah, it is really bad. We're just going to accelerate time here, see if anyone can best us. As expected, Lando Norris in the McLaren. He has bested us. I think we're just going to leave it at this. Can just look through some yeah, that does look good, to be honest. And the same with this. So we are acclimatized to the track, and we know it, obviously. Lap times are pretty decent. We are... How much better are we? Just about a second on each lap, except for lap 2, where we did have a bit of a slip-up. But yeah, around lap 3 and 4 is where we had the biggest difference, and then tyre wear. We do need to do something about the tyre wear. So... yeah, that is pretty bad. And is it perchance raining at the moment? Let's have a quick look. No, it is not. So we're going to stay in. We have all of the necessary experience heading into the next couple of practice sessions. And thank you for the encouragement once again, Caesar Coffee. It is much appreciated. It's been quite a while since I've done racing in Formula 1, so it is always appreciated.
And if today's practice session is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula 1.
Where did Ollie finish? He finished P15 on a 128. On 120.8. He's not that far off, to be fair, and it is practice. We finished 7th, only bested by the 2 Ferraris, 1 Mercedes, the 2 McLarens, and the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. So points could potentially be on. It is maybe going to be a little bit tricky, but you never know. In saying that, though, we are doing the next 2 practice sessions in quick practice mode. We don't have that much to complete, so let's just quickly get this underway. And we could get into the little bit more exciting stuff, which in the first is going to be qualifying. Always exciting. And we're going to have to see if we can bring the heat. And this is going swimmingly at the moment. Nice. And then the last one we can get is this one. So let's see. It should be possible. There we go. And that was that. And we get all of the resource points, I think. And that is very much needed here at the beginning of the career mode, because those are the currency that we're going to be using to pretty much do all of our what's it called? Development. But there we go. We have completed it all, so let's just we're not going to take part in these sessions. We're just going to quick practice them. And that means we are going to go away from practice with 300 resource points. That's quite nice. And a little bit of experience. And that takes us ever closer to our hopes of increasing in overall driver rating. But here we go. We have a message from our agent. Do your best out there today. We really want to secure a good spot on the grid. Remember though, Ollie is the main target. We are they are the first rival you'll be judged against, and that is obviously true because he is the only other driver who's going to be in the same car as myself. So he is pretty much the only real yardstick we can pretty much use. Let's see. We do have enough to purchase an upgrade here. If we do there's a 55% chance if we do it rushed. We're just going to do it standard. That means it's going to come just before round 4 if everything goes according to plan. And that would mean we would have it for Bahrain. But here we go. We are ready to get going for qualifying. It is a full qualifying session, so Q1, 2 and 3. And that means we're going to have to be on our best.
It is time for qualifying at one of our very favourite stops on the calendar. It's Albert Park, and we're about to take the cars right up to the edge.
Oh yeah. So here we go. Qualifying. We are ready to try and see what we can do with this car on full blast. It's obviously always different in these scenarios. Very much so, due to the fact that now everyone is going to be giving it absolutely everything. So here we go. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes. We're just going to fast forward maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Let a couple of the other drivers post their initial laps. And Lando Norris on his first attempt at 1:17.4. Damn, that's going to be quite the target to beat. And the track, it's quite busy right now, but we should be able to maybe get out on...
Checks complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car
some clean
leaving the
air
garage.
here. Hopefully, maybe the other drivers are coming back in, so going out now should be the play. But let's see. Yeah, lots of drivers heading back to the pits. And we're just going to flick this into none, just on our outlap. We're going to take it nice and easy on the outlap. Just prepping the car. And I can see I forgot to put...
Right, we're right on the cusp now. We've been pushed down to P11.
The right amount of fuel in. Whoa, I did not see Hamilton there. My bad. I have to be a little bit more observant. And we do have... Is that an Alpine coming through as well? So we're just going to let them past as well. And that would be... No, that was one of the Williams. That was Alex Albon heading through. So we're just going to let them through. I did not see Hamilton. That is my bad. And the sun is slowly setting, it seems, here in Australia, in Melbourne. It's going to make it a little bit difficult spotting some of the braking zones, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem, hopefully. We're just warming up the tires, warming up the car, getting everything ready to go absolutely flat out for a qualifying attempt here. And there we go. And round the final two corner. Here we go. First qualifying attempt of our F1 25 career. Let's see what we can do. Into turn one. Pretty decent. Wasn't the best, but it also wasn't the worst. At the moment we just need a banker lap, to be honest. And then we can try and go out and improve it if necessary later on. A little bit wide there, that wasn't the best. We are purple in sector 1. That is surprising. And then down this long back straight.
Okay, that's P19.
Into the fast chicane. Ooh, bit of a slip there on the rear tires, but we keep it. A little bit too eager on the curbs there, not ideal. But the lap has been pretty decent so far. Now we just need the final corner. Not the best exit, but we're going to deal with it, and it looks as if we go second place ahead of Lando Norris, and we did a 1:17.434. Not bad, really not bad.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
We are heading back to the pits instantly. So we should be good to go through to Q2 with that one. There shouldn't be too much trouble there. The annoying thing about this game is that the AI, they are not that good in qualifying. We have them on 107%. So that is not a low score by any means. And Hamilton at the moment proving that maybe Ferrari are someone to be taken serious in the championship this year. Who knows? But we are amongst the fun drivers to be amongst. That is always exciting. But yeah, we are probably secure for the next round of qualifying. So there shouldn't be any need for... Oh, we sped into the pits. That's not too good. We should avoid doing that. But the FIA are going to be a little bit lenient, it seems. And let us off with a warning. So that's quite nice. We thank them. But yeah, P2 so far. I would imagine that the top teams are not going all out as well. So, and that is probably why we are mingling with the fun part of the grid, but there we go. We are just shy of 3/10 behind Hamilton. Where is our teammate? Okay, so he is all the way down in P19. He must have had traffic on his lap, because being 2.2 seconds off in your first attempt, that is not something we usually see. Just quickly, where can I check that? I can't check it anywhere. Well, I do have to say that I am running on 107% AI difficulty. But yeah, we're probably able to stay in. We have the fastest 2 first sectors. We're not that far behind on the final sector, so shouldn't be a problem, really. And Lando Norris takes over at the top. There should be a little bit more improvement from some drivers here towards the end, but let's see. We progress into Q2. We finished 3rd fastest. That's quite nice. And Bearman already in the first qualifying session gets knocked out. And joining him is going to be Colapinto, Bortoleto, Lawson and Hülkenberg. Oh dear, Ollie. That is absolutely not what he was hoping for from his rookie teammate, progressing further into qualifying and himself getting knocked out. I'm convinced he must have had some trouble on his lap. Either that or he was blocked on the first attempt and then caught some traffic in the last one as well. So we're just going to wait a little bit. Just let some of the other drivers have a go first, and then we give it a go. So a 1:17.2, so the track is maybe a little bit slower, if anything, in this quali session.
Okay, when you're ready, let's go.
Looks like the track is not as fast as it was in Q1. Which means that lap times are going to be a little bit slower. Maybe the grip is going to be a little bit different. That can be maybe expected. But yeah. Out of the pits. And we are one of very few cars out on track at the moment. Let's see what we can do.
We've dropped to P15.
We are currently bottom of the pile, but obviously we haven't posted the lap time yet. So that is the reason for that. And as long as we don't crash it, I think we are probably going to make it into Q3 and fight for the top 10. That would be quite nice in our first outing as a Haas driver. I wouldn't mind that at all. But let's see, we have to complete the lap first before we can say anything. But let's see what this is going to be like. And there's no one behind us, so we have completely clear track in front of us. We're pulling a yellow flag, that is quite normal. And heading out of the final corner, let's start our Q2 lap. Let's see what we can drag out of this car. Oh, not a very good turn 1, but it's alright. It's not the best, but it wasn't bad either. A little bit deep into turn 3. Ooh, we run very wide there. The FIA deeming that we did not gain any time, which I think is the correct assessment. Yeah, and the track is definitely less grippy on this attempt. Definitely feel the lack of grip. And the first sector was not that good. Second sector was significantly better, which is always nice to see. Let's see, heading into the final sector. Let's see if we can maybe find that lost bit of time.
That's us pushed down into P15.
A little bit wide there, but nothing too major. out of the final corner. It wasn't the best lap, but definitely not going to be fastest. P8. Alright, we might have to go again. Because it wasn't the best. It's only the top 10 that progresses in this qualifying session. But regardless...
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Do we have enough time to go back into the pits and strap on a new set of softs? I hope so. We're just gonna have to go as fast as possible, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, not the cleanest lap from my side. We're ahead of Sonoda, which is quite surprising. I would imagine he's going to improve a little bit and jump ahead of us. We're right behind Alonso, so we should be able to battle with the Aston Martin for position. And who knows, maybe the Williams of Sainz in P10 at the moment, maybe they're going to find some time as well. But so far we are exceeding expectations, it would seem. Into the pits. Let's see what we can do. Doesn't seem like there's much traffic in the pits, so... It doesn't seem like everyone is too eager to get out too early. And I do have to change something, because I'm pretty sure my microphone... Usually you're able to voice command your engineer, but it does not seem like I'm able to do so. So I quickly need to figure out where to and how to do that. Just a quick moment. Let's have a gander here. I would guess that it would be in here. Is it push to talk? Mute by default. On. Is this... No, this is multiplayer. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's see. It should be possible to do at least. I'm not quite sure where it is. Engineer tutorial, yeah, that's good, that's fine. Speaker type audio. There's so many things here. I don't know where it is, to be honest. It should be here. Well, I don't know. But there we go. And it's good to know that you're just listening, Silas. I did have a guess that it was going to be you because of the username. Because I don't think I know anyone else whose username is Caesar's Coffee. So that is... it kind of gave it away. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, I hope that you can enjoy just listening. That's fine. I don't mind. So, but here we go. There is a little bit of time left. We should be good to fast forward just a couple of seconds. And I am going to go out again just to... Let's see. Doesn't look like there's much activity in the pit lane, so we might have to go out as the first.
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track.
It's good to hear that you're enjoying the podcast voice. You never understood F1. Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky to understand all of the, especially the terminology. There's so much stuff to pick up on, but yeah, it can be quite heavy and quite difficult with all of, especially the descriptive terms and all of the abbreviations. So I'll try and do my best to explain as well as I can, but can't promise anything, because there is some explanations I just take for granted, because obviously I do know them all, but it is what it is. But we are out for our final lap here in Q2, hopefully to progress to the final qualifying session. And we are just gonna... Yeah, Alonso's letting us through here. So we're overtaking the Spaniard. Oh, he gets a little bit close there for comfort. Thank you very much, Fernando. And we definitely have a little bit more in the bank. Tsunoda here. I'm gonna let Fernando through again. And we're just gonna back off. We have 1.5 minutes to get around and start our final lap. We're just going to take it nice and easy. We're probably going to be the last driver to complete the lap in that case. So we get to see if there's anyone who is improving, which is always nice to be in that position. But let's see what we can do. We have a pretty decent gap to Alonso. So let's see what we can do. This is going to be the final attempt regardless of Q2. Into turn 1. That was significant. That felt better, and it also is looking like we gained a little bit of time there. Oh, turn 3. Not the best, but we are improving, even though it's just a slight improvement. Oh, we touched the wall there. No damage. Oh, a little bit wide there through turn 6. Not the best. We are 2/10 up on our previous lap time. That is a pretty decent improvement, because I have a feeling that the field is quite close on time. But so far, so good. We are just 2/10 up. And at the moment we are slowly improving into the penultimate corner. Oh, big slide there. There was loads of time to be gained there, but and we did gain 2.5 tenths, even with the mistake. And we progress as 5th fastest. So that was decent. Even just 2.5 tenths bumped us up 5 positions. So that was quite good. And yeah, we were on the last position to get into Q3, but we made it in safely. And getting knocked out, the 2 Williams pairing of Sainz and Albon. And then we have Gasly, Stroll and Hadjar. And I think for Hadjar this would in real life be his debut race as well. He's also one of the rookies along with our teammate Bortoleto, if I'm not mistaken, and some more drivers. So not too bad. But yeah, we make it in, even with a pretty big mistake towards the end of our lap. And now we have to make it count. Oh dear. So let's see what kind of lap times the other drivers are able to find here in Q3. We're only going to have 1 attempt, so we're going to have to fast forward a little bit here and wait until there's just 3 minutes to go. Here we go. And 16.6. All right. So regardless of how we do, I do feel like the team is going to be satisfied with our performance here in qualifying. Because getting into Q3, I don't think was on their bingo cards before this weekend. And if so, definitely not with a rookie pairing of teammates. So that is always nice to be the surprise package and make a good first impression. That is always something you look for as a racing driver. And so far, I mean, we've done really well so far. So, no reason to stop doing it now. But, who knows, maybe the lap times are getting a little bit too low now that we can actually keep up. We will see what happens. And regardless, as I said, this is quite a solid performance from our side of the garage, regardless of how this ends, as long as we bring the car back in one piece and not blow it up into the wall, then we should be good. But here we go. We are just going to start our final lap here. See what we can do. This is for all of the marbles, so we should just send it regardless of what happens. Decent first turn. Wasn't the best, but it's not too bad either. Let's see if we can not outbrake ourselves for turn 3. That was significantly better. So good to see some improvements. And through the middle sector, or not the middle sector technically, but there we go. Turn 6 is completed, and now we have this long back straight that we need to contend with. Purple sector 1, so that is quite surprising. Let's see what we can do. Oh, we missed the DRS detection there, unfortunately, because I was on the ERS button as well. But so far, so good. Into the penultimate corner. And on the throttle and up towards the line. What are we able to do here? It is P5. And you know what? That's actually pretty good. Now we can just wait for the other drivers to complete their laps and see how they do.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
And Alonso is going to slow down. I don't know why he's slowing down. He must have completed his lap. We're down to P6, so someone improved. That is to be expected, to be honest. But P6 in our debut, that would be amazing. Let's let Alonso through. There we go. And now we have one of the McLaren drivers pulling up on us. That was Oscar Piastri, and that means Lando Norris is the next one. But yeah, P6 in our debut, ahead of George Russell and ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. That is not bad at all. By no means is that bad. And really, really solid performance from ourselves. I can't complain with that. Starting P6 on debut, that is nice. And we have made a good name for ourselves here at the beginning in Australia. So that is nice. That is qualifying done, and we are going to start our first Grand Prix all the way up in P6. So a very, very solid qualifying from our side of the garage. And hopefully, I mean, I hope that Ollie can advance a couple of positions in the Grand Prix, maybe even make it into the points. That would be very, very good if he could do that. But ultimately, we just have to focus on ourselves. But there we go. That is qualifying done.
Goodbye for now then, but we are really just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
And Max Verstappen on pole position here in Australia, ahead of Charles Leclerc in the lead Ferrari, ahead of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. And then Oscar Piastri is the lead McLaren in P4, ahead of Norris in P5. And as I said, we have actually managed to out-qualify not only George Russell, but also Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who, to be fair, is technically a rookie, as well. So I'm going to let him off. But ahead of both Mercedes and a Red Bull, that is quite good. That is really, really good. And as a result, we are winning the inter-team rivalry. And what is this going to do for our overall rating? It is going to bump it up to a 66 overall. So there we go. Solid first real session in Formula 1 for our own sakes. But now it gets real. And it gets real pretty fast if the weather is to be believed. First of all, we have some messages here. It is from Mark. I hope you slept well last night, because I expect it's going to be pretty intense out there today. Be careful if you're coming into the pits, especially if you have any damage. The car won't be at peak braking performance, and the stopping distance could be a bit longer than you expect. That is true, yeah. We do have to remember that. It's better to be safe than sorry. The last thing we want is a DNF, but you know what I mean. Anyway, have a good race. And it looks like it's going to be a spicy one, because it is forecasted to be a wet start of the race. And then towards the midpoint of the Grand Prix, it looks like it's going to dry up. So mixed conditions in our first race. Oh dear. And I do have to say, I've never been the best when it comes to wet weather driving. So that could be interesting. Could be very interesting. But let's see what this so-called forecasted weather looks like. Because it might not even be raining that hard. We don't know. But 77% chance of rain sounds to me as if we're going to have at least intermediate tires from the green flag. But let's see. We are just waiting for the game to get going. Here we go. Oh yeah.
It's the start of a brand new campaign, and so many questions need answers. Can McLaren keep their strong form going? Will Ferrari thrive? Will we see Red Bull taking back their crown?
So it's a light drizzle.
We're close to Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.28-mile Albert Park circuit. It is very bumpy out there on the surface of the racetrack. 14 corners, some of which were remodeled in 2022. We have wet conditions today, so watch out for a safety car at some point during the Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, safety car could also play into this.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session.
But here we go, the starting grid for today's race.
Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2.
Oh,
Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Piastri, Lando Norris, Iceman.
There we are.
Russell, Tsunoda,
Iceman,
Alonso, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Sainz, Albon, Pierre Gasly, and Stroll. Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Liam Lawson, Gabriel Bortoletto, Behrman, and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid.
So two ends of the same grid.
So let's head down to the track where preparations
are
underway.
And let's see how heavy the rain actually is.
Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me, an authority on all things motor racing. It's a warm welcome to Naomi Schiff. Well, welcome back after all the testing.
The number 3
It
on the front of that
now
Haas.
Comes down to this.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
Absolutely. All right.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
And as expected, we are going to be starting on the intermediate tires, so it's not quite wet enough for the full wets. And I do suspect we are going to have a switch to the dry tires come the midpoint of the Grand Prix. But this is going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting to see what we can produce from this position. But yeah, first race, and it's not... I mean, it is wet. It definitely is wet. The steering wheel is a little bit lighter, which is what happens when it gets wet. But it's not as severe, actually, as I thought it was going to be. Weather report. And the comms do not work. That is very nice. Anyway, we're going to have to fix that for the next episode. But yeah.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. You're doing well.
Alright, so 10 minutes, according to Mark, is when the team expects the rain to start fading away. And then obviously it is a question of how quick the track dries up and when we are going to be switching to the dry tires. And that could also determine whether we are going on to a hard or a medium tire. Because if it happens midway through the race, I could be looking maybe at a hard tire to try and do just a single stop. Even though tire wear was quite high in practice. But we can't be focusing on that just yet, because we have a race start and at least, I want to say at least 5 laps of wet weather racing ahead of us before we have to think about strategy and stuff like that. But this is going to be very exciting. It's been quite a while since I've done a race start in wet weather conditions. And if I remember correctly, I'm not the best at it either. So let's see. There we go.
Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts.
Alrighty.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Here we go. The Australian Grand Prix is underway now, and let's see. We get a decent start compared to Norris, so we get him off the line. And we're going to take it mighty fine and easy into turn 1. Big slide there. Oi! Big cloud of the wall. Did we pick up damage? It doesn't look like it. So we are good for now. But Norris is not done just yet. And now he is pulled out of it. He thought better of it. Oh, and we definitely 100% are carrying a dry tire setup. That is easy to feel. But yeah, we take the start, we gain a position, so we're up into P5 ahead of Lando Norris. Not the best start from his perspective, but we are not going to think too much about that. We're just going to be focusing on what we need to do.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
I don't think we're going to be moving forwards here, Mark. That is a little bit optimistic. And Piastri and Hamilton going at it for P3. Good little scrap between those two. And Piastri obviously on home soil here down under. So he's going to be looking to do his very best to try and get a podium. Something that the Australians seem to not really be too good at this Grand Prix. No Aussie has stood on the podium at their home track. So that is something that Piastri could change today. And at the moment we are doing quite well. Decent start. And most certainly running a dry setup. It's easy to feel the difference between a dry setup and a wet weather setup in these cars, because they're so like fine-tuned, I want to say. I think that's the right word to use. But Norris is going to attack us here. I think we're going to be able to defend quite well there. We just need to keep it on the road. If Norris gets past, it is what it is. He is in a faster car than us. But at the moment we are actually keeping up pretty well with the front pack here. Hamilton not really breaking away, and it seems as if Piastri was trying to launch an attack on, that would be Charles Leclerc for P2. Oh, big slide there, coming out of the final corner. A little bit too eager on the throttle. Not too well. And since there's obviously no DRS, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. But we are defending quite nicely from Norris here. And it is a bit of a workout, filing away at the steering wheel. But it is working quite well at the moment. Tires are not going off that fast. It is working in our favor. Here comes Norris. Does he finally get the run? No, doesn't seem like it. We stay ahead for now.
We anticipate an end to this rain in around 5 minutes. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters.
So the team anticipating that the weather is going to change in about 5 minutes. That would mean just around 3 laps-ish. I think maybe somewhere close to 5 laps we could be looking at a potential pit stop. It is difficult to say, obviously. Norris did go for an attack on the previous lap. So we are definitely feeling the heat of the McLaren man. And we are starting to lose touch with the drivers in front of us. We are just taking it nice and easy. We are breaking away from the majority pack here. It seems you can see on the minimap there is a gap forming from the, I want to say around P10 down to the rest of the pack. Is Norris going to try? No, not quite. He doesn't quite have the necessary overspeed to launch the attack. So we are defending so far. At the moment, still going quite well. Starting to lose a little bit of grip, especially on the rear tires. You can also see that...
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.4 seconds.
6.4 seconds down to Ollie. That is a decent gap. We're currently at 30% tire wear on the rears. So tires on the rears are getting used a little bit more, obviously. Since they are the ones that are powered, it does mean that in wet weather conditions they are prone to slipping and
okay, no issues with tyre wear
spinning
for now.
up
Keep
a
taking
little bit
care of
more.
them.
Oh yeah, big slide there.
Okay, mate, we're seeing a lot of tyre wear in the data. Please focus on looking after your tyres.
Alrighty, under 33%. We'll give it a try. I'm not promising anything, unfortunately, Mark. Not going to be able to promise anything, but I'll do my best. Let's put it that way. next 4 laps. I think this might be a little bit tricky. I'll give it a good try. Let's see. We are at the moment pulling a decently sized train that stretches just outside the top 10. I think the Williams on the end of the train might be in P11. But we are building a small gap down to the rest of the pack. So we are doing quite well for ourselves. At the moment, at least. Norris yet to still try and attack. It seems we have him where we want.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm aware that we're not catching Hamilton ahead of us. That is 100% clear. You don't need to remind me about that, Mark. All tires are slowly getting worse. What are we looking at in terms of the weather, I wonder?
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Okay, that's good to know. So not quite dry enough for a set of slicks just yet. But we are getting closer, it seems. The thing is, though, if this continues, we might have to...
Weather's changing now. You might want to review our strategy.
Okay, just a second. Yeah.
Okay, copy that.
We are going with the new strategy call. They're calling us in for a hard tyre. And that is a good strategy call, to be fair to them, because if the tyre wear is less than expected, once we box, we could be trying to go for a one-stop. If anything fails, then...
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Oh, we're pitting at the end of this one. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Okay, DRS is enabled. I know for sure we are pitting at the end of this one. But a hard tyre, that's going to be really, really tricky. Like at the beginning here. Yeah, McLaren also bringing in Piastri, so I think it is the right call, maybe. We're just going to take it nice and easy.
Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
Here we go.
Ollie's in the pits. Ollie in the pits now. Okay, off we go. Back into the race.
Oh, that was a nice stop.
Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're
That was
delighted with that.
so nice. Great job, guys.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
And let's be careful on the exit here. Might still be... Yeah, it's still a little bit slippery. But I think it was the right call. Ooh, saying that though. Yeah. It is the right call.
This is our true position. We're on the same strategy. They've pitted as well as us, so warm up your tyres and make the most of this stint.
I will do, Mark. I am trying my darn bestest right now. So Leclerc also boxed. We are down in P8. I think there was a couple of drivers who stayed out, maybe. Track is still a little bit greasy. So there's still gonna be improvements over the course of the next coming laps. But it is definitely the right call. They made the right call to bring in both myself and Ollie on the previous lap. Ooh, yeah, but definitely still, you still have to be a little bit careful. And there we go, a couple of drivers into the pits. And there's a Mercedes exiting.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.7 seconds.
Antonelli almost overcut us on that strategy. He gets out ahead of Norris. And we are up into P5 once again. So don't think we could have done anything differently. We covered off Antonelli as we needed. Track is still
the car
so
behind you
greasy.
just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres.
The track is really greasy at the moment. So there is some patches of very low grip around. It's not too bad, to be honest. But we're going to have to go into ERS management now. Honestly, it's not too bad. Right now, it's just about making the tires last. And using the tires as good as possible. Big slide. Oh, we need to be a little bit more careful. And Norris has gotten past Antonelli. So he's going to be trying to hunt us down. The track is definitely not at optimal grip yet. But we are getting there. It's getting better and better.
Okay, mate. Norris behind. It is critical for our race that we keep them behind, please.
Alrighty. That we can do, I think.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 7.0 seconds.
We are not sticking with Hamilton, that is for sure. Let's go into a little bit of a conservation mode here. Trying to save up some ERS for when Norris does close the gap. Oh, a little bit deep there. Grip is far from optimal in the final corner. And Lando with the fastest lap as well. That just proves that he is currently the man to watch. He's going to be very difficult to keep behind, I think. Oh, a little bit too much throttle there. The grip is slowly coming towards us. But it's still not optimal, that is for sure. Norris will be having DRS now, so that's going to make it even more difficult. Oh, that is a big mistake.
Okay, mate, we didn't get what we needed there, I'm afraid. But head down, chin up, and let's focus on the rest of the race.
Oh. We make a mistake, we break our front wing, that's no good. There. We are out of the points now. We were pushing a little bit too much there. Let's see if we can keep up with the other drivers here.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
That's a stupid mistake to be making at this stage of the race. Alright. Gasly and Russell ahead. Those are the drivers we have to overtake to get back into the points. The track is still very greasy indeed. And with the loss of downforce, it's no easy task. Let's see. We still have DRS on both of them. Ah, that's a silly mistake to be making. Hopefully they can start fighting and we can maybe reap the fruits of their maybe eventual clash if they collect each other. Whoa. And we have the presence of Hadjar as well to try and deal with as well. Oh, Gasly with a big mistake there.
Green flag.
So we're not the only ones who are having trouble with the conditions. Gasly spins. That's unfortunate for Alpine. He was running in a pretty decent position actually. But this could be disastrous for us, because we were catching him. Now we have 1.7 seconds up to the next car, which is George Russell, and he is on the back of Carlos Sainz. So he's going to have the DRS, while we are not. Let's see if we can close them down. We have plenty of laps to try and do it. Just curious whether this is going to work. And Russell and Tsunoda are now fighting. So Sainz got past Tsunoda. And this is really good for us, because that means we might just be lucky enough, not on this lap.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
But they are fighting quite hefty here. Oh, big mistake there from Tsunoda. We're not going to have the DRS just yet, but if we can stick to the back of his Red Bull, we will have the DRS come the back straight. But Hadjar is pressuring us. So all things happening in this Grand Prix. Things unraveling and all of that great stuff. Let's see what we can do about Tsunoda here. Let's close up to the back of him. Getting past him is going to be the difficult task, I think. Oh, big thump over the curb there. He still has the DRS of George Russell. Piastri with the fastest lap of the race. We're back into DRS on Tsunoda. So now we can defend ourselves from Hadjar.
Gap to your teammate behind, 3.1 seconds.
Let's see if we can get past the Japanese driver here. He's going to send us to the outside. Makes it a little bit more tricky. But we make it past him. Ooh, and the instant hit of loss of downforce.
Gap to the car in front, 2.1 seconds.
Now we need to try and defend from Tsunoda. See what we can do. He's currently more occupied with the presence of Isaac Hadjar. So we're doing quite well for ourselves here. Even with the mistake, we're still able to run with the big boys, it seems. Not too bad. I wonder if Tsunoda has a mechanical failure on the car just plaguing him, and that's why he was so relatively slow. we're gonna try and see what we can do.
The car ahead is a second a lap faster than you.
No wonder. He's in a Mercedes, we're in a Haas. Of course he's going to be faster than us, Mark. I mean, rescuing a point here could be really good. Alright, let's try and pull a gap on Tsunoda. We're just abusing the ERS at the moment to try and defend ourselves, and so far it seems to be working. We are 13 laps away from completing the race. Front wing is really not doing us any favors.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy. Come on.
Absolutely. No worries, Mark.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Alrighty. So tyres are not going to go the distance. That is perfectly fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay, mate. After that front wing damage, we've got to look after it now. Please protect the front wing. Come on.
I'll do my best. I'm trying, Mark. I'm really trying. You have to believe me. Oh, that was a bad corner. And we're just going to burn off the ERS here. We are going to switch front wings, because I do think that will benefit us. We are going to lose a little bit of time doing that, but it is a sacrifice I am willing to make for potentially maybe fighting our way back into the points come the latter stage of the Grand Prix. So far we're doing quite well, considering everything. And the track is fully dry now, so everything is good, and we have dropped Tsunoda, so that is also nice. If we can pull a gap on him before our final pit stop, that would be really, really solid. Who knows, maybe I'll set it to auto. Let the team decide what we do with the front wing. Because at the moment it's not feeling too bad. Losing track position could be very vital come the end of the race. And we are slowly catching signs. Russell boxes, so does Ollie.
Right, Ollie's coming in for his stop. In this lap, push now.
We are boxing at the end of this one.
The pit box is currently full. Stay out on track. Stay out. Okay, gap ahead, 2.3 seconds.
Thank you very much.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Let's close up a little bit to Sainz just before the pit stops.
Don't forget, box this lap.
I'm not forgetting, don't worry. Yeah, the front wing is not doing as much as it was at the beginning when we initially picked up the damage. So I'm sure I could run with it until the end. It's mainly the last couple of corners that it's doing my head in, but it's not too bad. I have to be a little bit careful here now with that front wing broken. Alright. And the team also doesn't think that it's worth
Right, let's go, come on!
hitting
Perfect job on
or
the
changing
turn
it.
there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Thank you very much.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Alrighty. We are out in P10. Good stuff. I don't know whether Tsunoda actually boxed on that previous lap. But I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll have a safety car at some point. That changes also everything. And yeah, these mediums way grippier than the hard tires before. So we can really push now. Let's get to it. Let's do our best. We have 9 laps to go. So far we're doing okay. Oscar Piastri with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. As to be expected. We can really push these tires. It's just the front wing that prevents me from pushing flat out. But it's all good. It doesn't seem like Tsunoda got passed by Hadjar on the pit stops. And here comes the Williams.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 4.8 seconds.
And we have undercut Sainz. So we're up into P9, but we're going to be battling with the Spaniard to the end of the race. And he's going to be on slightly fresher medium tires as well. So a formidable foe to be battling with.
The car behind's just boxed for mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now.
I am wary. I'm well aware, Mark. Don't worry. And he's going to be pestering us to the end of this race. As Piastri posts another fastest lap.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Oh, we run very wide there, and we let Sainz pass. That was not intentional. So some minor mistakes.
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position.
Minor mistakes.
Oh, great stuff. You hit that target. Really good job.
Oh yeah, we didn't knock the front wing, and there's a yellow flag behind.
Okay, clear.
That is for Isaac Hadjar, I think. Might be stopped. Yeah, Hadjar out of the race. So that is one less threat from behind that we have to worry about. Oh, we touched the grass there and we get a poor entry to the corner. We're going to have to use up a lot of ERS here. If we could just stay with Sainz, I'm going to be happy. We don't necessarily need to overtake him, because that is not what I'm looking at right now. I'm just trying to defend from Yuki Tsunoda, who is catching a little bit from behind after he got past Hadjar. Yeah, Tsunoda is catching at the moment.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
That's fine. We have stabilized the ERS at this point of the race. Ooh, that's a big understeer moment there.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
I'm aware, Mark. Don't worry, that was a mistake. I didn't plan on doing that. Let's try and get past Sainz, shall we? We fly past him. No defense thrown from the Spaniard.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
Thank you. Oh, again, we make this almost make the same mistake through that corner again. Sainz is going to be right behind us. We'll try and keep him behind here.
Okay, gap to the car in front. 4.9 seconds.
Yeah, we're not catching the car in front. Don't worry. I kind of want to get Sainz past
We're increasing
here.
our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
And he goes for the outside, not the smartest move. Thank you very much, Sainz.
Okay, mate. Yeah, really good job on hitting that target, mate. Nice work. Still a long way to go, though. Sainz ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
I'm trying to not lose too much time to Tsunoda, but it's very difficult with Sainz on my heels. Let's try this, see how it goes. And it's a lap, very wide there, not optimal. Lap 24 out of 29, so we have not that many laps to go. We are doing a solid job so far. See if we can keep Sainz at bay. It's going to be difficult. Heading into turn 3. Let's see. I kind of want him to get past here, because then we will get the DRS on the back straight. And we can maybe try and pull away from Tsunoda, who is slowly but surely catching. He's 2 seconds behind at the moment. If we could just keep him at that distance, that would be quite nice. And then on the final couple of laps we can start battling with Sainz over who finishes ahead. But to the inside this time. We make it past Sainz. Quite nice. And we did stretch our gap to Yuki Tsunoda on that lap. 2.6 seconds is it up to. So that's nice. It is working. Ultimately, that is what this is all about. Just trying to defend our own position. Let's see, Sainz is probably going to get past here again. Hopefully. Brake a little bit earlier here. Invite him past. There we go. Whoa! Big slide. Whoa! And another one. Now we have to focus a little bit, because I lost a whole heap of time doing that. Let's get past Sainz again. That was not optimal. And here we come. Flying past Carlos Sainz once again.
Okay, gap to the car ahead. 5.2 seconds.
We get the DRS once again. That's the good thing about Albert Park. is that the detection for the DRS zones are grouped together, so in 2 and 2. So if you get DRS on one straight, the following straight you get the DRS as well. The tires are starting to let go ever so slightly, and we are not catching the cars in front, which is to be expected, to be honest. And now Sainz is probably going to attack again. We're going to make it quite easy for him. He does not wish to go past. That is not my problem then. That is your choice. We're just going to stick it in front. And then blast pretty much all of my ERS coming out of this corner. Turn 6 all the way down to turn 10. At 27 out of 29. It's heating up. I can feel it. But we have done really well, I think, to manage the situation. We made a stupid mistake on some of the opening laps. Almost made another one there. Ugh.
We're catching the car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
Don't worry, Mark. I'm working on it. Seems like Sainz is running out of options. At least that is... He's not attacking as heavily as he did previously. We're on the penultimate lap, so he needs to get things done fast if he needs them done. Whew, I'm also starting to sweat a little bit. It's getting hot with all of the pressure, but it seems like Tsunoda, yeah, we have dropped Tsunoda over the last couple of laps, so that is nice. Good to see. Lando Norris, fastest lap. Good on him, honestly. But we are entering the final lap in a couple of moments. So one last chance for Carlos Sainz. I think the reason we might not have seen him try and attack us as aggressively as he did before.
Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap.
Was down to the fact that he is probably going to go all out now on the final lap. But let's see if we can't defend from him. So far so good. Oh, a little bit deep there into turn 3. And then this corner here, turn 6.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 7.5 seconds.
We just blast all of our ERS to try and defend from Sainz. Piastri wins the home Grand Prix, so not only will the Aussies have a podium celebration, but they will have their home hero win the home Grand Prix. So that is a very nice story to tell. Absolutely deserved. He was also quite good early on in the Grand Prix. And we... oh, I shouldn't talk too early. But it looks like if we just get the final corner correct... oh, I say that and I put down the throttle a little too fast. But after a very silly mistake, we're going to come home to get our first points in Formula 1.
And that's the end of the race.
On debut.
We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
We get 2 points after a very up and down race. And Franco Colapinto is nominated as driver of the day. Whew.
What a superb drive from Oscar Piastri, who
What a
takes
race.
the checkered flag.
What a race.
Well, they kept us guessing during pre-season testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them draw it out here today, that they are the ones to beat, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
So Piastri wins, and he's joined by Verstappen and Leclerc on the podium. Solid drive from the Australian.
But first, it is time for the podium.
Here we go, number 81 rises to the top.
Winner today, Oscar Piastri.
And that is going to go down well with the Australian fan base. Verstappen in P2 ahead of Charles Leclerc. So a very solid Grand Prix from, I want to say, all three teams. I think Norris, he might have finished P4 or 5. More likely P5. So good solid points for them. And I think maybe also Ferrari will have gotten a double points finish.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
But there we go. Oscar Piastri wins. Verstappen second, Leclerc third, and it is Norris in P4. A very solid drive from him. Hamilton started from P3, finished P5. That's pretty decent, to be honest. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli finishes ahead of George Russell on debut, so good on Antonelli as well. Alonso with a good result as well. We dropped quite a few positions, but we end up picking up 2 points ahead of Carlos Sainz and Yuki Tsunoda. Probably the biggest disappointment of this race, down in P11, while his teammate finished P2. And Tsunoda at the end there didn't really seem to have the pace either, so wow, yeah, not a good weekend for him, but we are beating our teammate. It has to be said though, Behrman did finish in 13th, so good on him. And we get a whole heap of experience and overall rating, so that is quite good. And here we see, yep, we are fairly evenly matched into team-wise. We get a little bit of recognition as well, so that is quite nice. But overall, I mean, it could have been better. We could have maybe finished in a very high P5. More likely that it would have been either in P6 or maybe P7 if everything had gone to plan. But yeah, it wasn't too bad after all. And as for the championship standings, the drivers' standings, they are similar to the race result because it was the first round. For the constructors, you can see McLaren are currently leading ahead of Ferrari, and then it is Red Bull in third, despite Tsunoda not picking up any points. And then Mercedes ahead of Aston Martin, and we are sitting in P6. We could have been higher up, and I am aiming to try and do my best to drive the team forward. But a very solid first weekend for us. I think we have I don't think we have enough resource points to get anything, do we? Not quite. So hopefully Ollie is going to be looking at that in terms of progress. We have 2 developments underway, and Behrman no one. So hopefully we'll see him do some development, and that could be quite nice. And that does it. That does it for this race. In the first race, we pick up 2 points. Not what I'd hoped for, but it's nothing to complain about. And up next is China in Shanghai. So that is going to be next episode. I'm looking forward to that one already, because if the pace that we showed here in Australia is anything to go by, I think this one could be quite an exciting one. But that's going to have to wait until next one. And with those closing words, I'm going to leave it here. I want to thank everyone who tuned in today for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. There was a lot of action all the way through, pretty much. And I'm hoping that that trend continues as we progress through this career mode. As for when next episode is going to be, I'm not quite sure, but it's not going to be too far into the future. So make sure that you are subscribed and that you have the notification bell turned on so you don't miss whenever I go live. I would also highly what is that called? It's called Suggest. That's what it's called. I would highly suggest that you also make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because going forward I will be making sure to let everyone know whenever I'm going live. So that is a good way to catch the notification if you are not subscribed, but there's no reason to. It's free and it shows me that you enjoy what I'm doing. So I would much appreciate that. But with that being said, I think I'm going to leave it here. I wish you all a very blessed Saturday, and until we see each other again, have a good one, and bye-bye.